We are not so different. Good morning, good morning, good morning, my We Are Not So Different family. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. This morning's guest, we have Miss Jessica Johnson with us. Hey, Miss Johnson, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
So I want to give you a little bit of background about Miss Jessica. So she was born and raised in Brunswick, Georgia, loved to take photos, drawing and crafting. Her passion is what created Johnson's photography. While in high school, she began photographing people and events. She went on to go to College of Coastal Georgia, and then to Georgia Southern University. She graduated with her bachelor's, and now she focuses on photo. Why am my mouth and my brain are feuding this morning? So y'all just bear with me. Um, she focuses on photography that includes weddings, special events, family, children, restaurant menus, and so much more. So her goal as a photographer is to provide a fun and memorable experience while capturing lasting memories to be enjoyed for years to come. Thank you so much for joining us, Miss Jessica. So, one of the main reasons why I was like, I need Miss Jessica to come talk to the people. So, we did a photo shoot. It was for a piece that I was featured in recently, and oh, so mind you, so now I'm going to tell all our business, Jessica. I hope you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So mind you, I'm new down here in Georgia, so it's not many people that I know, but we do attend the same church. So I knew of her, and then I knew of her through I do believe that's your cousin. But when I told her, I was like, I need, someone to do this photo shoot for me. And she first name that popped out of her mouth was yours. So we dial up, we hook up, and we go. And I give her the concept of what I'm thinking, but I don't know anything about the ins and the outs. She chose the location. We went to this. When I say it was like it was magical, y'all don't judge me. Y'all know how I am. Y'all don't judge me. But she took what I like in. Oh God, y'all help. So y'all know sometimes when I get like it'd be like a million words trying to come out of one mouth. So sometimes it sounds incoherent, but I bless y'all for sticking with me and try to piece all this together. So I gave her the blurb of what I thought I wanted, and she turned it into this like whimsical, beautifully shot, like colorful. It was like a wonderland. I had the time of my life, y'all. I felt like a kid, and the experience is one that I will never forget. And then she's just the sweetest soul. So I was like, I gotta have Miss Jessica come on. And I know, look, y'all, she's shy, but we're gonna break her out of that shell today. So kudos to Miss Jessica and Jessica of Johnson Photography, because she did an excellent job. And if y'all have not seen the piece, I will post the link, or maybe she can put some of the pics on her, her page, her Facebook page for y'all to enjoy. Hint, hint. So anyway, y'all know the drill. Find your favorite spot on the couch. Get your favorite drink, whether that is Kool-Aid or Cavassier, and tune in to this conversation. Miss Jessica, I don't know if you're familiar with We Are Not So Different, but all of my guests get the same two questions. So here they are. Number one, if you had the undivided attention of an audience of your choosing, who would said audience be, and what would you tell them?
For me, I not surprising to most of my family and people who know me, my audience would probably be more of the younger generation, the kid generation.
Now, can you clarify? Because, we have people of all ages that watch this show. So what you mean by younger generation?
Young adults who are guests starting out in their teens, from the little kids that are guests trying to learn anything, new things. Because
Okay.
as a kid, we always say we switch up what we want to be when we grow up. The 1 minute we want to be a doctor, next we want to be a vet, next we want to be an actor. I was like that too. At first I didn't want to be an artist. I wanted to be a vet. Then when
Okay.
I figured I don't like taking shots and don't like giving shots, I my careers over and over until
Okay.
I finally realized my passion was my career, which is drawing, crafts, photography. So that's why I would talk to younger generation. And I've been babysitting for years. I took childcare and even worked at a daycare for a while. And I worked with 2-year-olds. So you can imagine how that's going to be, having 22-year-olds in one room. But it's the reason why is because the encouragement, especially the younger the age, the more you encourage them. Like for me, my mom and dad were some of my biggest encouragement from the time I was little. My dad said I've been drawing since I could pick up a pencil, which is probably since I was a baby, because he used to have his own little art studio in the garage when I was younger. And I guess started drawing, and they've been encouraging me no matter what it is to my dad even tells me, draw once a day, keep on honing your craft because it's the gift God gave me, which I am incredibly thankful for. And that's why I would talk to the younger generation, even if you're in high school or even you're just getting into college. I would guess talk to them, ask them, what are you passionate about? What do you love? Could you see this as a career? And if it's yes, what can you do to hone your skill, push yourself out there? Just talk to them to encourage them, because you might think a simple, oh, that's pretty, is nothing to them, but it means the world and it could change their world. That's why I would speak to the younger generation, just to give them some encouragement, just as my mom and dad did for me, because I wouldn't be here still drawing, doing photography, and just trying to push myself as an artist if they didn't encourage me since I was like very little.
So I know you said that you worked in like daycare and everything. Um, so you obviously have a heart for the youth. Not sure if that's something that you've taken into consideration, but I feel like I need to tell on you. I might tell Pastor Apostle, because are you working with the youth? I'm being nosy at this point.
I had to quit my job for health reasons a while back, so I'm no longer working at the daycare. Doesn't mean I stopped working with the youth, because now I work with my Sunday school kids,
Okay.
and I still every once in a while I'll check up on either like my youngest cousins I used to babysit. I'll stop by, and even when I'm just out and about, I'll see some of the girls. There's a certain trio of girls that always been close to my heart. They're not sisters, but when they're like the Three Musketeers when they get together. And
Uh-huh.
I love just watching over them. And even for some of the kids at the church, I found out some of them love drawing, like Maddie or Jaimin. When I found that out, and and they know I draw. When I get out of my drawing pad, it's like the kids instantly see it and navigate towards me. And either they ask me, can I draw, or can I get a piece of paper to draw? Sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I just plain don't like ripping paper out of my sketchbook. I'm picky like that.
Mhm.
But eventually I wanted to encourage them to keep drawing as well. So I would save up a little bit of money, go out and buy them art supplies, from sketch pads to markers, pens, pencils, just the simple stuff, because you don't need a lot of cameras. You can use your, like photography. There's people who don't have DSLR cameras. They just do professional photography on their phone, and they are amazing at it.
Mhm.
Give them
Mhm.
the basic stuff so they can learn now. And they still, when they let me know, Jessica, I need another sketch pad. I fill this one up and I try to get more because it encouraged them and they show me their artwork and I love seeing what they do.
That's
So
awesome.
I try to still stay involved, even if it's from the kids at my church, kids in my family, or guess people I know personally.
Okay. Awesome sauce. All right. So, question number two. If you had the opportunity to speak to a younger version of yourself, let's say like 4 or 5 year old Jessica, what do you feel? You already smiling. Uh-oh. What do you feel like little Jessica needs to hear?
Um, First I would tell her curiosity killed the cat. So if you think you will really want to do something for your sake and for your sanity, don't.
Okay.
I I was the type where my mom told me not to do something and I would learn the hard way not to do it.
Oh, okay then. All
There's
right.
been times from when my mama told me don't touch the eye on the stove, don't grab the curling iron while it's hot, and I just had to come back and do that exact same thing. And so when I was little, I would, if I didn't listen the first time, I would be hard headed and learn the hard way. So if you think about doing it, don't.
Hey.
But I would also say keep trying to push yourself because there's times where I get stopped drawing for reasons and I still don't know why I did. But I would say even if you don't feel like drawing, keep on. Those are the times you really have to start pushing yourself.
Okay.
And I guess those would be the main things I would say. Because don't be so hard headed, and when they tell you not to do something, don't do it, and just keep drawing. My mom and me still laugh at this one story where she tells me not to jump on her bed when I was 5 years old. I think I was 5 or 6, and she had one of those high beds. So if I stood on the bed, I could touch the fan with my hand, and I don't know why why I did this. The fan was going at high speed. I'm jumping on the bed. The fan still hasn't hit me yet, so I'm thinking I'm invincible. Mom comes in, tells me not to jump, and she still tells me every time she tells the story. She said all she hears was a rapid all of a sudden, and hears me crying on the bed. They come in to see me crying and figure, and apparently that fan finally hit me, but since it's going at high speed, it got me multiple times in one shot.
Oh, whoa. So that's what that was for.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
originally my mom wanted to just punish me because I disobeyed her. My mom told me my dad came in and said she got punishment enough.
Yeah,
So I
I
was
would
the
imagine.
I was a curious girl. I would ask a lot of questions. I would try to figure out how the world works. And sometimes if my mom and dad wasn't around, I tried to figure out on my own, which got me into trouble, as you can see.
That is hilarious. Cause I'm a nosy baby. I'm to this day, I'm nosy. But I was the type to nosy, like look and watch and observe and be like, oh, that's what happens when that happens. And do the opposite. I was not one of those that, like the old folks say, you don't believe fat meat greasy. I believe it. But
I was
to
the
each their
only
own.
child, so I
Yeah,
didn't. My
okay.
brothers and sisters were
Gotcha.
learning.
So see, you didn't have that example. You couldn't look at older brother, older sister, and be like, okay, I saw what you did. Don't do that. Okay, well, hard. It's the hard night life, literally. So I want you to tell us about Johnson's photography. How did it start? When did like? How did it come into fruition? Was it something like you always knew you would do, or is it something that just like bloop, popped on the screen? Tell us. Tell us.
Surprisingly, I never really thought about doing photography when I was little. Once I figured out I did want to do art, I didn't know. I always thought it would be drawing or making cartoons. That's partly why I went to college is to learn to be an animator. I still do animations, do character designs, and I also do prop designs.
Ooh,
But
prop design.
halfway, hmm
Okay.
like in video games or I guess the simple stuff you see in a movie, like my favorite movie of all time because just how much detail and work went into it has to be Treasure Planet. And there's so many things around the props. They might be simple to some people, but they make a difference to the movie itself. And there's so many props So you can imagine how much those people have to do just for one scene of a movie, let alone the entire thing. But I absolutely love animation and what it takes to make it. But over time, the more I started to take pictures, the more I started to capture photos that just really blew my mind and surprised me. So like, even though I still do animation, my main focus became photography. I actually started in high school. At first, it wasn't really a business. It was just me taking pictures. One of the ladies at our church, she still pops by here and there, but she hasn't been there in a while. She had a wedding and she hired Ari, a professional photographer at the time, but she also said I can come and take pictures. So I did. I got some. That was the first time I actually had an actual client, and it was for a wedding. So that was nerve wracking because I have to be on point to get certain pictures. But at the end of it, I sent her the photos, and I was worried like she had a professional one there, but I'm not a professional. I'm barely even an amateur. And so I asked her the next day, the next Sunday after the week after her honeymoon, what do you think of the pictures? And she shocked me by saying, I should have just hired you because that other lady's pictures turned out ugly. Yours
Oh
were
no.
she shocked me when she said that a professional photographer turned out ugly, but my photos were the ones she wanted. And I
Wow.
guess that kind of pushed me along a bit to get more clients, to do more photos. And I started doing newborn pictures, and I did a few children's, and I did quite a few pictures for the church for conferences, events over the years. And then all of a sudden, it started pushing me more and more to now I was getting paid clients, and I was working my way up from amateur to now a pro. So I guess it kind of gets built slowly over time, and now I'm trying to push this as a professional career.
Okay. So so I know you said it started in high school. When did you like get the like notion, or when did it become like official? Like this is Johnson's photography.
Probably not till I hit college. When I started going to college at Coastal Georgia, even if I didn't have my DSLR camera, I would always take pictures on my phone. My friends, I probably got on their nerves so many times. I tell them, wait, can you pose right here for a second? Because all of a sudden I found this perfect scene. And I would use those as my example to show people. And I officially started charging for my photography, then learning about contracts, trying to figure out how much should I charge, how much is my work worth. And I think that's when it finally started to hit me when I first started at college.
Wow. So you say now you do stuff like digital design. I heard you say logos and stuff like that. That's kind of huge right now, like especially because everything is there was always a huge push in like social media and all that stuff, but especially now because of the pandemic, like people in droves have had to start doing things online that so like what you do is in demand like right now. Perfect
Oh,
timing, right? So tell us, I mean, I guess if you're an artist and you draw, like why wouldn't you? But at the same time, so digital animation, logos, like how do you, I guess how did they like overlay like into one another?
I'm as I was saying earlier, I try to do a lot of animation stuff, and my favorite is character building. So I be lately because of it, I've been becoming a observer, kind of like what you said earlier, and looking at this person's nose is a bit bigger. This person had is a bit thinner, and just looking at the different proportions. And for me, my style is more cartoony, so the point is to exaggerate it gets a bit in certain styles. And I'm wondering how could I draw this person? What would their personality be like? And that's how I started character designing. And I still do that today. I even post some of my stuff on TikTok and Instagram for both my animation and my designs. But as for the logos, I mostly focus on the character work. But every once in a while, I would get somebody either through my cousin who referred you or some other people who actually seen my work. They would ask other people about me and ask on occasion, could I do a logo for their church event or for these kids, or can I do it for whatever, like their own small personal project. And I eventually just started doing logo designs. Even in college, this one boy for his social media wanted me to do a logo for him, and I got paid for it and everything. So I guess the logos kind of just snuck their way in, I guess.
Just snuck on in there. You know what I meant to ask you as it pertains to weddings and stuff? Like I heard you say, that's a big deal. And it is a big deal because it's like people are entrusting you with like, I know this is gonna sound corny, but whatever. Y'all hear me. Like their memories, like their most precious memories. If they're married 20, 30, 40, 50 years, they can always go back and look at the pictures of that day or the video of that day. So it's like that is a huge responsibility. And then if you're the photographer, then it's placed on your shoulders. So I know you have to be nervous. What do you do to calm the nerves? And then like what happens? I'm being nosy at this point. What happens if someone doesn't like your work? Like you got the raving reviews from the lady when you're an amateur. Man, I wish I would have hired you because your pictures was this and that. So what happens on the flip side when they don't like pictures?
For that, you're right. It is a big deal and it is nerve wracking because the thing with weddings is they're not going to pause and redo something for you. So you have to make sure you're always in the right place, that you always got to be moving, but at the same time, not moving other people's way. Make sure everybody can still see the bride and groom, but also basically, I guess the basic word would be a ninja. You have to sneak around without being noticed. I'm
Okay.
literally, I'm literally hiding. I'm in the corner. I'm up, down, squatting down the aisle. I'm ducking my head and slowly walking quietly to the next spot while they're up there saying their vows, trying to get different angles because it's all about perspective. Different. It can be the same. They're standing still, but different shots give you different perspective, and one can be better than the other. But it is important, and you got to keep on going, because you could miss something without even noticing, and there's no do-over,
Right.
because once they're done with that part, they're on a time schedule. They got to go to the next thing. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but the more you, I guess it's just the more you do it, the better it gets.
Okay.
So yeah, even today I still get nervous. I've done a lot of weddings. I still get nervous because I want to make sure I get that shot, and you don't always have time to look at your chances. Oh, they move too much here. No, you gotta make sure you just keep taking the pictures sometimes, because most of the weddings I've been to can be fast paced. I might get a quick glance down and I think, oh no, that shot is too blurry. What am I going to do? And I guess have to figure it out later.
Mm. Okay.
So for me, nervousness, I'll get nervous anyway. The best thing is to just start doing it. And I'm so focused on my work that I don't feel the nervousness anymore. As for people and the bad criticism, there's I had to learn this. Even with drawing, I had to learn this. There's always going to be that one person who doesn't like your work. There's always going to be that one person who nags about it. And I think the worst criticism I ever got wasn't the fact that my pictures were ugly. I actually, and this was strange for me, I actually got hired to take photos for a funeral, not a wedding, but a funeral.
Okay.
I know it's not always a usual, but I understand why. He he was important to the people at the church, and not only that, he was retired army. I forget I forget exactly what his rank was, but they went out for his funeral. They had soldiers actually come in and carry his casket with the United States flag on it, and they even did the gun salute for him as he was being
Okay.
buried. So his family wanted pictures, because normally, even if you work in the military, you can't always get these people to come out for a person's funeral. So it was important for them. So I was told, while we're at the funeral, take pictures. Another family member who had no idea what's going on, once we got to the funeral grounds, she pulled me over and said, "You need to stop taking photos at this funeral." And I tried to tell her I'm supposed to take pictures at the funeral. They told me to. And she said, "No, you need to put that camera away." So when they're about to lower it down, right before they take the flag off and fold it up a certain way and hand it to the wife. So I'm about to take a picture of this because that's an important moment. I ended up missing the picture because I look across and that lady's giving me dirty looks like she's about to jump across the casket at me. So
Wow.
I didn't want anything to pop off. I didn't want anything to start because for me it looked. This was when I was younger. I was still in just before I got to college. I guess either right before I entered or right after I entered when it happened. And I didn't want her thinking she's going to do something and start yelling and mess up this moment because this is a moment for the wife. So I guess ended up stop taking pictures the whole time because she's staring me down.
Wow.
And me and my mom were there as guests at the funeral as well. And when I told her and told the others what happened, they got so mad and said, "Next time, even if just ignore them, no matter what, just ignore them and take pictures." I eventually got hired to do another funeral. Uh, the same thing happened there. They brought in the military for him. And this time I made sure nobody stopped me. But because I was worried about that lady, I missed some important opportunities and important pictures for her afterwards. So I think that's the worst thing that ever
Okay. Well,
happened.
even in
Somebody
that,
not
like,
like.
yeah, like I'm glad that you were sensitive enough to the moment to give yourself pause, even if the crazy Karen was giving you a hard time. Because you're right. Ain't no telling, we don't know. Grief does weird things to people. Ain't no telling what she would have done that could have possibly compromised the seriousness, the somberness of that moment. So kudos. Like you were younger, you know better now, but yeah, I mean, wow. Okay. So what are your hopes and dreams for Johnson's photography? Like, what do you see? Like, I heard you say animation. Do you want to do something in like TV?
Mm, I don't know about TV. Cause as much I would love to have my own animation on TV, you're going to be under contracts, and they're going even as much as you want it to stay your certain way, you're going to be required to change something about your animation, whether it's for the pe- the demographic of people or whoever. You're going to be under contract, so you're always going to have to change your idea some way to fit what they want. It's a 50-50 chance of that. Sometimes they'll let you have rain, sometimes they won't. But for me, I think I would just for me, I guess like making short, quick, funny animations that just make you laugh. Kind of like on TikTok, you'll get see these random funny videos of somebody acting out a movie scene or something.
Huh?
Just taking that movie scene and animating on how I see it with my characters, just to make that person smile, even if it's just for a moment or a quick minute, and just make multiples of those, like make it a series or something. Because I've been through times where I just needed that one laugh, and that one laugh made my entire day.
Okay.
And I kind of want my animations to do that, be so silly, or sometimes just be one of those moments where it's so stupid you can't help but laugh, and you'll just watch it over and over again, and bring people that kind of smile on the face they need that day, or if they're ever sad, they can come back, and if they like it, they can rewatch it knowing it makes them laugh. So I guess like to do funny animations, shorts like that. I haven't done too many of them, but now I'm starting to get back into animation. I stopped for a while for my other job because it was so demanding at the time.
Mhm.
So now I can focus more on my photography, and now I can focus more on the animation.
Okay. Well, now that you're focusing on more of what your passion is, do you have any new projects coming down the pipeline that you'd like to share? And if you're not able to, I mean, I won't pry, but you know I am lonely. So,
I'm thinking about, I mentioned earlier the month challenge where I did a theme each time. I'm thinking about my project is to go out more and try pushing myself as a photographer, using myself again to take pictures and just try them out, whether it's full body shots, creative shots, trying to and to travel more, even if it's just like to maybe Savannah, Statesboro, like that, and just spend a day taking pictures to push myself, get new perspective, because different places give you a different perspective.
True.
And I'm hoping, and I'm just going to push myself as a photographer, but I'm trying to get more clients. I'm trying to push myself to get my art out there so people can see it. And hopefully one day I'll be able to have my own studio where people can just walk in and get their picture done. And I forget what these places are called. It's like a selfie place. You walk in and they'll have different scenery set up. There's one where it's just like a flower getaway. You can just step up and take pictures. I want to maybe have a place like that where I'll
Okay.
have these different backdrops and you can just have fun. Like you said, you were having fun just like you were a kid again, and take pictures like that. It's not just about taking pictures, it's about the experience they get while they have it. If they're having so much fun playing around while they're getting these beautiful pictures done, that's what I want. And if I get a studio, I want to make it so they can just walk in and have that kind of experience and get pictures, whether it's just best friends to family or even just portraits for their wedding, have fun making silly poses. Because if you go online and look up funny wedding photography, one of my favorite is where this photographer had the groom and all the best mans and his friends lined up in their tuxedo. She put a beer right in front of her camera and said, first one to me gets the beer," and they all ran towards her and she just kept on snapping pictures and she got a funny one of the groom falling trying to stretch for the beer can. Just have fun moments like that, even though sometimes it's a serious occasion. I understand that, but doesn't mean you can't smile and have a good time. So I
True.
guess that's my goal. I eventually want my own studio. And even if somehow I can't have that, and I'm still doing, like, I don't mind doing photography outside, traveling to other places to do photography. I'm even okay with that. But just to give them a whole new experience to where they want to come back and do it again.
I love that. I love that. And I would. If that was your goal, then you have succeeded with flying colors because I can't wait for the next opportunity where I am in need of a photography person, what's what photographer. Andrea, get it together. But in this area, God willing, if I'm still in this area, you're the first person that's going to pop to mind because of the experience, like you said. Like I felt like a kid. It was like a whimsical, like little time on the beach. So yeah.
Even if you're
So
not in the area, let me know and I don't mind traveling. My mom
awesome.
instilled that in me when I was little.
Okay. Travel. All right. I know you mentioned Statesboro. I was there a few days ago. It is a very picturesque area. Andrea, don't do that. But I was looking at the area as you're driving. There's some areas that really are very picturesque. So I want you to tell my people, where can they find you? Like we want to see the pics, we want to see the displays, we want to see your work. Um, whether that's photography, whether that's anime, whatever. Where can my people find you?
If you can find me on Facebook at Johnson's Photography, or if you want, I'm still working on my website right now, but I
Okay.
do have a portfolio website I go to showcase my pictures. It's free for anybody to use. It's called Flickr. If you go there and look up Abonai Arts, it that name's different because originally I used to call myself Abonai Arts because my middle name is Abonai, but
Okay.
now I get stuck with Johnson's Photography. So you might find two different names, but they're
Okay.
the same person. Abonai Arts or Johnson's Photography. And if you go to Flickr, Abana Arts, you can see some of the showcases I did from little kids to some of the stuff I did while I was at college, because even some of the college students hired me to do Instagram photos for them or graduation photos, and I posted them there. Even some of the restaurants, I did some pictures for local restaurants down here. I even posted some of my stuff for them on Flickr as well. And if you don't want to look at Flickr, just go to Instagram. I have multiple Instagram. My personal one with which is you can find just Jessica Johnson. I also have Aubenai Arts, which is mostly my drawing. So if you ever want a logo done, a character done, or a specific like portrait done, maybe like of you and your best friend, anything like that, you can go look at some of the stuff I did there. And Johnson's Photography 122 is where I post just my photos. So I try to separate them because I don't want it jumbled up for people, because there might some people who want just drawings or those who just want photography. So I have two different ones for those, which are business and my personal. You can just go look at me up at Johnson's Photography or Aubenai Arts.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure to get some links from Miss Jessica, and I will make sure to post them somewhere. Either they're going to be on my page or going to be on the We Are Not So Different page, or they'll be Instagram. They're going to be somewhere. So keep an eye out, because I want to be able to give you any kind of exposure, because when I say, y'all know I'm not going to blow no smoke up your behind. I'm just saying, when I say I had a wonderful like experience, I felt like a kid. Like, anyway, Jessica, I want to thank you so much for giving us your time this morning. I know you're a busy lady, and I really appreciate you coming in and sharing and dropping off some words of encouragement and just like sharing your heart. I appreciate you this morning.
Thank you for the opportunity. I was really excited about this.
You're more than welcome. Maybe we'll do it again. We'll have to keep that in mind. All right, y'all, my beautiful babies. I'm thankful that you guys spent your time with me this morning too. I want you to do something nice for yourself. The season has changed. Fall is here, y'all. Fall is here. Pumpkin spice, yes. Bring on the fall colors. Do something nice for yourself, and then do me a favor. Shoot me a DM or shoot me a message. Take a quick selfie showing me what you did for yourself, doing some self-care, maybe getting your nails done, maybe getting a pedicure, or whatever it is that you love. Do something nice for yourself because you deserve it. Until next week.